Hi, my name is Alex Duselier Muller. I am a dressage and eventing trainer based just outside of Little Rock, Arkansas. One of my strengths as a trainer, I think, is that I really enjoy coming up with schooling exercises to improve flat work. I think that a lot of people ride around for 45 minutes and at the end they don't know what they've accomplished. So I'd like to put out a program, hoping every week, but I don't know that that'll happen, with a video component and a PDF file with some of my favorite schooling exercises in the hope that some people may find it useful. This week I'm riding Emmett. His show name is Imperial WRF. He is a 6-year-old Dutch Warmblood by Sir Sinclair out of a jazz mare, and he's currently showing second level. This week I thought I would start with one of my more straightforward exercises. It's my go-to when I'm kind of at a loss. It's called transitions on a figure 8. And transitions are one of the easiest ways to improve responsiveness of the horse, balance, and engagement. And putting them on the figure 8 also helps improve lateral control. So I've already established a figure 8, two 20-meter circles. One is between B and E and one is at A. And when I begin the exercise, I'm going to canter half of the circle and trot half of the circle. So I cantered at E and I'm trying to trot at B, but I'm a little late there. And so I'm making sure that I'm parallel to the short end as I change direction onto my new circle and cantering at the quarter circle mark. So here I'll be cantering that half of the circle, so I'm preparing for the down transition and doing a down transition to trot. So this is our baseline for the exercise. I'm going to continue cantering half a circle and trotting half a circle. So here you can see that Emmett gets a little bit stuck in his transitions, and I'm hoping that by continuing the transitions, they'll start to flow a little bit more. As I continue along this exercise, I'm still being really careful about the lateral balance. I don't want to see that my circle starts to fall apart. I don't want to see the bend suffer. You saw a little spook there. So what I'm hoping will happen here as we ride this exercise is that Emmett will start to establish more swing in his back, a little bit loftier step, which he is, although I didn't love the transition there where he got a bit stuck from trot to canter. So what I do like here is that the change of bend is starting to become a little bit more fluid. We have some young horse problems going on at the moment. Emmett gets a little distracted as one of my riders rides by on her horse. I think we're back on track now with his brain in the game. Oh, I lost his left shoulder a little bit there. You could see as I changed direction that my circle got a bit of a corner on it, so that's something that I'll be paying attention to the next time I ride around. I like that transition a lot better. I like the trot in between. I think he's establishing a little bit more swing through his back, a little bit loftier trot. Didn't do a super job of fixing that left shoulder there. Emmett does get a little stiff on the left side, a little bit lack of push through the left hind leg. Here I've advanced to the next more difficult version of this exercise, which is to canter a quarter circle, trot a quarter circle. So at each quarter circle mark, I'll be doing a transition. And these come up really fast, so as you ride this exercise, you have to really think ahead. Always, if you get a little stuck, you can skip a transition, but if you skip too many, you're kind of avoiding the purpose of the exercise, which is to force your horse to listen to you and to get you lost control laterally a little bit there. So he leaned out against my left leg and I pushed him back into a little bit of haunches in to get more respect for the left leg. And then we had a little bit of a miscommunication. So as you can see here, it doesn't really matter if your transitions are perfect. There we go. That was better. So it doesn't matter if your transitions are perfect. The purpose of the exercise is to get the horse listening, to get him more balanced, more engaged. So even if your transitions are a little bit messy, you're still gaining the benefit of the exercise. So don't be too hard on yourself. If you skip too many of these transitions, you're losing the benefit of the exercise. So here I've moved to the next hardest level, which is to canter a quarter and walk a quarter. I didn't love the up transition. I think he got a little bit stabby with his hind leg and didn't push all the way through his back. So I am walking the full quarter circle. I'm praising him. I want to make sure that I'm establishing a clear walk rhythm. That was a better transition. And I do have to think ahead. About halfway through that quarter circle, I have to start thinking about the down transition. So you can see through the hollowing there that Emmett isn't really sitting and pushing. He does tend to get a little bit stuck here in the walk with his hind leg. So even though the transitions aren't perfect, I'm gaining responsiveness. That was a little better through this exercise. So again, I'm not super concerned that the transitions are perfect, although of course I want to make them as good as I possibly can. That was better. So that one, he stepped a little bit farther underneath himself with his hind leg. Good boy. Sorry, my phone gets a little crazy here. So you can get really quite creative with this exercise. There is no limit really to how many variations you can create. The point of the exercise is that you can do something at a predetermined spot and repeat it until it starts to become smoother. So here I've made this a bit more difficult, and I picked up the canter in the predetermined spot and then maintained it for half of a counter canter circle. So if I keep that pattern consistent, I'll canter here. And then as I cross the center line, I'm switching to my counter canter circle, and I'll maintain that for half of the circle. So I'll be doing the down transition as I cross the center line. This is obviously really quite effective at getting him to sit on the outside hind. So you can see there in that last counter canter, he really, we had a little trip. He really sat on the outside hind. So the outside hind being the right hind because he's maintaining the left lead. So here our left hind is our outside hind. I know that gets a little complicated, but his left hind is really sitting and bending. That just kind of squeaked out in front of me a bit. So the counter canter is a really effective collecting exercise. So if you watch his right hip here as he turns around that outside hind leg, you can see the outside hind lower, like really there you can see it lower. And that is the definition of collection. So he gets a big pat because that was very effective there. So that's about it for this week. Thank you for watching. I hope you found that useful. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, rivercityriderlife@gmail.com. I plan on posting a new exercise every week or so. Thank you. Bye.